Hello, I'm back. That's going to sound a bit out of kilter if you're watching this at some point in the future, so I ought to add some context. This is the I'm back again after I think about 9 month hiatus, where every once in a while I'll just forget and then. But yes, I'm back with Trade Empires because although we've done Shang Dynasty China, First Civilizations, Trade on the Nile, and the Mycenaean Age, there are a lot to get through, and I can't help but feel I have almost an obligation to the internet as a whole to get through as much of this as possible, because as far as I know, nobody else has got a Let's Play of Trade Empires. Perhaps that says something about the nature of and quality of Trade Empires, but I like to think I've just struck on an extremely lucrative and overlooked niche. So, that's probably not what happened, but I'm going to skip over First Civilizations 2, Trade on the Nile 2, Mycenaean Age 2, because it's just more of the same, but with an extended timeline and more families and more complications. But what I want to do is get more of a feel for geographically what's on offer. So we're going to skip over to Seafarers of Phoenicia, in which you start over here and you have to establish colonies. Or in fact, let's read the info about it. Two families of merchants compete. Another thing, you can have rival families compete where you have a rival to play against, but there's a couple of reasons I'm not going to do it. One is they're not very good. They don't actually try to achieve the goals of the mission. So I tried it earlier on First Civilizations 2. There's 4 of them, and you have one in Mesopotamia, one in Indus Valley, one in Assyria. I don't think there's one in Zagros, so I don't know where the other one starts. But the aim of that one is to build up your own your own country. So if you're in the family there, you've got to try and get as many houses in Mesopotamia. But the rest of them just don't do it. You get these massive trails and roads, and the family in Indus Valley just goes trails across into Mesopotamia to trade in your markets and actually help you win the game. But also they have no finesse and no style, and what you end up with is just roads just going all over the place. And I don't mind when I do it, but I think it looks quite ugly when a soulless computer does it. Another one is I'm a wuss and I have difficulty plotting routes as the Monopoly, and bringing the complication of a competing player just doesn't do it for me, because they'll interrupt a perfectly serviceable and perfectly functional and very efficient route by just moving in and doing what they want. So none of that. No families. So yeah, your success. Let's start from the beginning. 2 families of merchants compete to colonise and open new markets for their goods. You and your opponent must found new towns outside your shared homeland of Phoenicia. Your success is measured by your wealth and by the population of towns surrounding the markets that you construct outside of Phoenicia. So you'll notice, I don't think it really matters if we're Tyre or Sidon. I'll go with Sidon, because that seems to be a winner. And you'll notice from the map we've got Carthage, the Straits of Gibraltar, and Western Sicily, and also the Kingdom of Israel. And if you've ever looked at the map of Rome Total War as you start the game, you'll notice that these are kind of the areas that Carthage starts in. Not so much Kingdom of Israel, but definitely Lilybaeum, Carthago Nova, Barcelona there, so named after Hannibal Barca or the Barca family, and of course Carthage itself. And that Carthage is, of course, the famous son of the Phoenician Empire and Phoenician trading empire, more famous than the parent from which it's developed from. Anyway, I'm 5 minutes in and I haven't actually started the game yet, so it's high time we take a look at what happens in Phoenicia. And just to pause the game for a bit, we have dwellings demand wheat, fish, linen cloth, wool cloth, and ceramics. You must supply food and 2 other commodities to get dwellings to move into a market area. So there we go. So that's interesting. Sometimes in the Egyptian one you get wool cloth. In the Mesopotamian scenarios you get linen cloth. Now we get both. And then there is ceramics, far back from the Greek campaign, Mycenaean, yes. And then this looks like wood, but it isn't. It's cedar, and is worth quite a bit more. I think it's worth about 150. So let's start with a few palaces here. They demand a lot of cedar, very nice. Temple doesn't, but in fact, temples look rubbish at the moment. But I'm fairly sure they get better as the game goes on. This is what Phoenicia looks like. This is what Israel looks like. Sounds like. Pretty good. There's no change in art style, I don't think. Those sound like the trumpets of Jericho, if you were to ask me. Oh, there's a chap in town that does a bit of preaching, but before he preaches, he blows a horn. And yeah, that's an aside. And we've got the Straits of Gibraltar. Sounds exciting. I think there is a different. That does not look a different art style. But they're all much of muchness at this point in the game. But as the game progresses, very good music. And of course, we've got Carthage itself, which looks bountiful. I mean, if I was to set up some colonies outside of Phoenicia itself, this would be a good place to go. Although Kingdom of Israel is probably better because it's closer. But because of sea travel and going between it, I don't suppose it matters. Say you start in Phoenicia. It doesn't matter if you go to Kingdom of Israel or to Western Sicily or to Carthage. The travel time is going to be roughly the same because you just spend a bit of time in between. And I think it's a fixed amount of time between territories. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, you get combat in between territories as well. So I think that this is the first scenario where, yeah, the bandit presence is uncommon, it's weak, but it's there. So we'll probably see a bit of that, and I'll be able to show it off. So plan of action is this, is to, where's my HQ? It's here. What I'm thinking is to find somewhere to start with a market locally. Thinking somewhere that's got wheat and fish together, or should I go for somewhere that has wheat but not fish, and you can bring the fish in by sea? Because here, yes. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll set up a market. They've got wheat, linen, and flax. I build a weaver there, and they're sorted. I don't know how much money it's going to make me, but well, we'll build up a market and then we can sort of play it by ear. It's a shame the temple's over there and out of the range, but I'll say we can work around that. I'll even bring my own headquarters into the radius, which is pretty cool. I don't know what it does. I think it creates slight demand if you have your own headquarters in there. But this is Byblos, which is familiar to me and to anybody that's seen the Pharaoh videos, because Byblos is the place you go to get very expensive wood, and cedar in fact, and oftentimes jewellery. I should do Pharaoh again. I'll consider it. But first and foremost, on trade empires. Now, I think. We could have a second city over here. It also has flax. It could bring some flax up and get some wool cloth back. I don't know where the ceramics would come from. There, it looks like. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll have a second city. Here. Just try to make it a trading post for the time being because I'm cheap. Tyre. Don't know a great deal about Tyre, but I do recognise the name. An interesting fact almost came into my head then, but swiftly left. So I have a seaport here, and a seaport here. And That doesn't look very stable. And then set up a route, and there's a lot of notifications. 10 minutes in, and we're finally getting started. So let's talk about... Well, what do I want to name this? Bibulous fish. I mean, there's not many games these days that actually require you to type it. Like, if this was done today, all this would be done automatically. It'd automatically name it, and you probably wouldn't have to even select it from a list. It would show you the map, and you would click on the market from the map, and then you draw the route just by click, and then there would be a more intuitive way of doing this. But, you know. So I'll take a... Start with a galley. Start with a merchant galley. Take all the fish and 3 flags. Go to Byblos and leave with some wool and linen. And we'll get Sargon of Akkad, who is a little bit late, I think, 1200 BC. I don't know when Sargon of Akkad was active. I know he was history's first proper empire builder, but I think he was more 2000s. He may have been even earlier than that. But we'll hire him. He can do the Bibulous fish route, and then let's get somewhere set up over here. Like, this is a lot of effort to set this up, but what I'm thinking is that I can set these up, and then I can basically set up trade routes that go from Byblos, carry what I've started calling in the trade routes like white goods. So it'd be like Carthage white goods, and it will just take a bit of ceramics, a bit of cloth, a bit of this, a bit of that. Take it straight to Carthage, and you just got all the supply needs done. You know what? I'm going to be a bit cheap. They can go on the mule. So we'll have ceramics, Northern Jordan River on the mule, and then go to Byblos and go to Tyre. And that Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Jews, bought his wife a pair of shoes. When the shoes, never mind. I don't know why I know that. That's like a skipping rope song that like girls used to do, back before my time. So you can go on ceramics, and then we've got 5,000 gold coins. Or just coins, I don't know if they are gold, to play around with. So I'm thinking a little bit of money making. We've got shipyards and palaces that demand cedar. Cedar sells for 160. So if I buy them from there for 80, sell for 320. That's not a bad markup. The main markup in this game comes from manufacturing, because you can get the raw materials at a depreciated price, and then sell because you get the cost of a manufactured good is the cost of the. I think it's just the cost of the raw materials, or it might be like raw materials plus a bit, but like the profit margins increase with every iteration that it goes through. But for the time being, I'm happy to just make a bit of money off of cedar. And what I might do... Aquatic resources in Phoenicia are disrupted and temporarily unable to produce. So, it's a good job you picked up your fish when you did. In fact, you've already bought it. You've already sold it all. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I forgot I'd have to purchase a weaver. Don't mind buying stuff off the bat, because I've got a feeling that you're going to be pretty profitable. There's just constant demand. Plenty of flax, plenty of wool, top notch. And Sargon's already on his way back. Not a bad place to live. That's oh, look at Nebuchadnezzar on the mule. Well, really, you don't need to rush with ceramics. I mean, you've not even built a full demand list trying to sell 2 of the things. He's not going to be very profitable until Byblos gets a bit bigger. I had a test game of this. Oh, that was about a couple of months ago. I managed to get Byblos up to about 22. I think the growth of dwellings is hard-coded into the scenario, because I swear, on Shang Dynasty China, you get to 8, and you're like, wow! But in the Egyptian one, we got up to like 20, no problem. And dwellings were growing in cities that I didn't even know I had a trade route. Anyway, slow the game down a little bit, just a little, because we don't make too much progress too quickly. You can build a canal, but ooh, that's not bad. It's expensive, but it's not bad. So here's what I'm thinking. Stay away from that palace. Unless you could be cheeky, you could set up a market there, pick up some cedar, walk, just down the road and make a sizable profit. And you know what? I could do that. I'm also thinking they take wool cloth, so you could theoretically buy that weaver, and that would just continually, that wool cloth there would supply that, which would supply that. But I think the only person that would promise profit there is the owner of the sheep farm. And that's not me, so I'm not going to do that. But what I will do, because I'm feeling ambitious, I'll put that in Western Arpad. Let's take a look at how much a canal costs. We could also expand up to that. Whoops. That's a right click. So we'll take that there. And that comes to not a bad price, actually. I mean, I can't afford anything, but I really can't afford anything. If I put a river port there, trading post here, I've run out of money. Also, I don't think I don't know, I'll have to wait until I make some money. Well, that was a fun little enterprise. What I was thinking was, take a whole bunch of cedar, which will be going cheap by the time we get round to it, and just sell it to the palace, these shipyards. I'll go to Israel and sell some cedar there. You know. Ooh, there we go. We've got enough money to build a river port. Put a river port in the sea. I don't know what stops you from just using river ports all the time. There must be some mechanic. But I'm not going to find out just yet. So Nebuchadnezzar is working at rocket speed. Oh, that's better. And Sargon is waiting for the fish to produce, but they're not producing because of the typhoon. No, they're just not producing because there's no money in it. I think. I can't see. I don't know. Presumably the event's passed. I can't see the. It usually appears in the top corner if there's an event going on. Right, if we sell those ceramics. Okay, we've got some money. What's the price of cedar like there? Yeah, not too bad. I can build up a bit more demand. So what I might do. Oh, game. What is this? Oh. That's going to cost. That's going to cost a fortune. We'll come back to that. Let's go back to the big screen. There are other shipyards, but every shipyard. Well, every market that builder's got to come with another 400 for a seaport. There's a couple of shipyards here. I'll just have to bite the bullet, I think. So go back to Phoenicia. I'll be flitting regions so much I don't think I'll have to put any backing music in. Actually, I might do. Because it is a bit quiet, isn't it? Trouble is that if I put backing music in, I have to go back and edit it, and every time I switch regions, I have to pause the music, then start it again. I know, woe is me. But speaking of woe is me, looks like we're going to have to put a whole bunch of Seleucia. Now, I recognise that from Rome Total War. They are quite unfortunate in that game in that most of their historic power base just isn't included on the map. Because Seleucia got like the Middle East and the old Persian Empire that went right through up until about the Indus Valley. But the map of Rome Total War just cuts Persia in half. So they inevitably end up getting wiped out. And out of the successor states of Alexander, Ptolemaic Egypt always does the best. Like the Seleucids are a really precarious position because they get a little bit of Asia Minor, but they're just surrounded by enemies on all sides and don't have a great deal of economy. Having said that, when I've played as the Seleucids, I seem to do fairly well. So maybe it's just the AI being the AI. I'll put a trading post in here. That's Chimera. I'm now in debt, so we'll just wait a bit. But I'm thinking big. What I'm thinking is big. I don't know whether to go into Israel just yet. There's only 2 markets there. I think that's enough for the time being. So I'll just save up till I can get. What's that? 400, 800, 1600. That's going to take a while, but it'll be worth it. Trust me. And so will the payoff for watching this. Okay, I can't guarantee that with such certainty. But in the meantime, lots of cedars building up. Nice cheap cedar. That'll be going for let's say for 80 a piece. Sell it for 360. Lots of profit. Well, 320. Sorry. In the meantime, there's no profit to be had. Desperately trying to sell these ceramics. What's holding Saga? Oh, he's trying to sell linen to a place that's just not interested. Presumably, Cruise patrols. The island passage, Phoenicia to western Sicily, is safer in both directions, while local malicious presence is keeping bandits away. That'd be great if I was actually going in that direction, but as I'm not, nice to know that sometimes the events can be good. All in favour of the local militias. Oh, the wolves become unprofitable now as well. But see, we've got to population 10 already, and I've done nothing. I took warranty. Okay, Sargon's on his way back. We are out of debt. We've got 65 coins to our name. But believe me, big things are coming. Believe me. Huge. I don't know what to say in the meantime. Only a shout out a little bit to Wasny Plus. I assume that's how I pronounce his name, complete with the U in there. Who is a regular commenter on when it comes to this Trade Empires videos, and very kindly said that whenever I've got the inclination, he'd be happy to see me back. I have got the inclination, and here I am. And it's quite funny, you get different subscribers commenting on different videos, and a quick look through the comments now. Seems very exclusive. You don't get many, so you don't get many much crossover. The city builder type people comment on city builder type videos, and Trade Empires has its own thing. And I can't remember the last time I did a game that wasn't a city builder or Trade Empires. But I don't know. I might throw in. I didn't want to put a river port in there. I might throw in. I really don't want to put a river port in there. What a waste. Like Rise of Nations or something. Just see what crops up there. I might put a video in with just my face in and see what happens then. It might cause a collapse of the channel, I'm not sure. You might be sort of enjoying listening to the dulcet tones, and you'll see who's making the dulcet tones and be like, ugh. But you wouldn't be so shallow as to do that. God, that's thrown me right back. That river port in Chimera. That'll stand till the rest of the game as just a folly. We'll call it By Jingo's Folly. It's set me back by years. Increased bandits around Sicily passage. Carthage to western Sicily has now become more active than usual, which looks like dangerous, actively dangerous there, as opposed to it being weak there. So, never mind. We'll head back to... go from Carthage to Carthage. Ooh, how much fancy that. I do like this idea of like a zone of control, and you go out, even though you're going out back into Carthage, it's dangerous because the local government just doesn't go out of this region. It's safe within the region, but going around the region, no, not a place to go. Okay, we've somehow ended up with 1,237 gold. I don't know where that came from. I hope it's from legitimate sources, but I'm not too fussed either way. So we'll put in a seaport, and a seaport, and then we'll have a Cedar Phoenicia, or Phoenician Cedar. Don't know. I'm going to warn you now, my spelling is not going to get any better. Phoenecia? Oh, it's up there. If I'd have just looked up just a little bit, I'd have been able to spell it right. So you start at Western Arpad in an Egyptian barge. Carry 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 9. Go to Western Phoenicia, though you can of course go to Chimera on a merchant galley. Oh, yes. Yes, that works. Leave with 8. Go to Southern Seleucia, which has so many S's, it's wonderful. And look at the demand for cedar there. Go to regular Seleucia. 208. It can be higher than that. Chimera. And that'll do for the time being. I will add... Don't know, actually. I feel like we'll have that and just have all of Phoenicia's cedar needs met. And if I want to go abroad, I'll set up guards, which you can do here. Pretty cool. Get some men-at-arms. Oh yeah. Go back to Western Phoenicia and change it to an Egyptian barge. And we need 210. I could do somebody that's a price gouger. No, well I'll have a seaman. Although we could, any of those are useful because there's the river, there's the sea. In fact, I'll go for Cambyses, the river pilot. Although it's all academic at the moment because 314 gold coins in debt. That was fast. I went from being 1,200 up to 26 down. And, ooh. So between the Straits of Gibraltar and Carthage, it's safer in both directions, thanks to a well-governed militia being necessary for a well-governed state. The right of the people of Straits of Gibraltar to bear arms shall not be infringed. I put that in as a pub quiz question a few months ago. How many words of the Second Amendment? Because it's such a verbose. Like, to say that it's simple concepts like just the right to bear arms. It's about, well, it's like 19 words long, and it's got a prefix, and it's got such flowery language that it actually does itself a disservice. It's something like a well-governed militia being necessary for a well-regulated state. Well, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the maintenance of a something state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I was like, get to the point. You're doing yourself a disservice. Anyway, after all that, I've got myself Cambyses. I think he's going to be a real money spinner. In fact, I might have to have a second person on that route. Because as you can see, these barge yards are just... They're drinking it up. I could... Oh dear. That usually means somebody's moved out. I don't know where though. Oh, somebody's moved in here. Some clever clogs has moved in here because I'll buy it later because it's cheap ceramic without realising it's nothing to wear or anything to eat, so he's leaving. So I'm not fussed. Anyway, I'm going to watch Cambyses for a bit. You can come and join me. In fact, you have to come and join me because I'm in control of the screen. But I think this is going to be very satisfying. So, he's going to come into there. He's going to buy 8 at 80. Well, you can't get it cheaper than that. He's also had to pay for the Egyptian barge itself, so that's taken the bit off. I think that cost you about 500. But here we go. Forget about the temple. Temples don't buy cedar. Why palace needs cedar, I'm not sure. The palace might be the odd one out there. I've got a feeling I've actually lost money there. I just had to buy the galley. That's nice. That's 500 almost. Same again. Like he's already making a profit and is halfway through his first route. This is fantastic. It's a shame there's not more barge yards. Oh. Ooh, ivory. But not here. I think there's ivory in Carthage. Yes. Ugh, that is so out of the way. Like, when I had the game earlier, months ago, I had a nice ivory camp over here. And this is nice and straightforward. This is miles from the sea. I mean, this might be better. I might be able to just sort of wander across here. Oh. So these events that are taking place. Less bandits, more bandits. I wonder if Israel has any ivory. No. Straits of Gibraltar? No. Straits of Gibraltar's got very little for me right now. Western Sicily? No. All those elephants in Western Sicily. That's it. I mean, it's pretty profitable. I think ivory is demanded by nobody at the moment. Ivory statuettes are demanded by palaces and maybe temples. But let's go back to Phoenicia, because that's... Well, I've got to think outside the box at some point. What I'm doing at the moment is fund building. Anyway, let's go back to Cambyses, because this route is what I'm all about. In fact, I'm going to jump the gun here and just get another merchant on it. We'll get Hannibal. Instead of going to Carthage, he's going to stay in Phoenicia, where he belongs, and he will also do the Cedar Phoenicia route. Ooh. Product shortage, Phoenicia, very strong demands for units of wool cloth. Well, that looks like money to me. Ivory statuettes is demanded by the following subjects: Acropolis, Oracle, Palace, and Temple. And that's disappointing. That's better. So what I could do is set up... it's so far on the way. Market here, market there, a sculptor here. We'll trail through the desert till we get to somewhere like here, or more likely here. Sell one's ivory statuette there, and then get on a ship, go over there, sell one there. I think, so there's one... I'm not interested in temples, I'm interested in palaces. I'm not paying $800 for sculpting because I can't afford it. There's 2 palaces, and only one of them is near the coast. So what I'm looking at is... Yeah, that works. I'll probably think of like 2 ivory routes. One ivory route that goes from Carthage to Israel to Phoenicia, and then another one that goes from Carthage to the Straits of Gibraltar to Sicily, and just go to every single palace. I don't want to go to the temple because that looks a little unprofitable. It probably isn't. I just wouldn't be able to guarantee that I'd be able to sell one statuette every time. They might have to wait. And speaking of which, see, the price for Cedar is still going up, and he's already done his route now. So there's Hannibal. What we might get is a... they might have to wait for the Cedar to be produced. That irritating thing the game does, where I'd happily pay these people to 90 or 100 just to continually produce some Cedar for me, rather than making me wait. That's what they're doing here. Ugh, so slow. There's money to be made. Where's Hannibal? The militia's given up, they've gone home. They've had enough. Right, I think that route's more or less paid for itself now. Right, Cambyses has made 331. But that's actually like 1100. The route itself cost a lot more than that, but a few routes of that, it will have paid for itself. I think the switching from a Egyptian barge to a galley is doing a... It actually cost me quite a lot of money. Perhaps you should just stick with an Egyptian barge. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Baal worshipped. Turmoil due to religious reforms in Phoenicia prevents any purchases by local religious buildings. That's just another reason not to sell to temples. But what a mean event. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Would you just wait it out? Because I'm not going into these routes and just changing it to change out all of the temples. Like, I like the idea of these random events, but I'm like, well, what do you want me to do about it? By the time I've done something to fix it, the event will be over. And setting up routes in this game and changing routes in this game is so cumbersome. So now I have the money. And my word, do I have the money. Let's buy sculpting. There is a sculptor nearby. But nearby is not actually there, so... Let's build our own. We'll have a market here. Or a trading post. I can't scroll any further. That's odd. Phoenecia. And then we'll have one here. Must build on relatively flat land. Northern Phoenecia. And how much does the road cost out of here? Presumably a can't have a canal. Ooh. That's a shame. And there's no way of really getting... Ooh. Hey, that's something worth noting. I can bring a canal all the way to here. And then I could leave with 8 ivory statuettes as opposed to 4. That's definitely one to think about. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. I don't know who I'm talking to there. I'll put a pin in it. Don't worry. So sculptor cost a carver costs 1,000. Seems like a bargain to me. And then we'll just sort of saunter over on a camel till we get to there. Now, from thinking cities, this doesn't look like a too bad a place to found what is probably Carthage. I think Utica's around here somewhere, or Utica. But that's neither here nor there unless I can incorporate it, which I can't. It's a little bit of a shame how this game... It kind of like separates luxury from the actual city itself. So this will probably be Carthage, for instance, but be nothing but a palace. Whereas this will be North Carthage and be a bustling metropolis. Also thinking, is it worth trying to get that temple in? Yeah, why not? Definitely a seaport, I'm checking now. Okay, so a new route. Ivory. Fun is... That's terrible code. It's like that's neither particularly shorthand and particularly obvious. We'll go to Phoenecia. I'm not happy with that name, with the name of that place. It sounds offensive. Go to Northern thingy. Leave with 4 ivory statuettes. And then... Alright. Save. Wait a minute. Why can't you get to Carthage? You can walk across there. How strange. Have I got to spend money on a road? Oh, I really wanted to avoid doing that. Let's have a double check. It's northern Phoenecia. Yeah, it's just not an option. Well, I guess I'll just have to build a road then. Although it does add an extra aspect to it because it means I can't carry 4 items. How strange. I've never seen that before, and I've played this game a fair bit. I may as well bring it. Or not. I won't bring the road up to there because I can't afford it. However, when that cedar route comes in, well, it'd also be quite nice, since I'm adding to the wish list of this game that's long since gone out of production or development, is to be able to bring up like a map where you can watch the merchants move around. So I could go to a map and just watch, while in Carthage, see what the merchants in Phoenicia are doing. Because I've got a feeling that those cedar merchants are working wonders. I wonder if that helps. Yes, actually. So you go to Carthage, you leave Carthage on a regular galley, because I'm not paying for a merchant galley. With 3, because presumably you'd sell one here. There's already demand for it. What can I say? Go to Phoenicia to start with, because Western Phoenicia already has a palace. There is a carver there. That's interesting. It's not interesting enough to actually do anything about it. I might do something about this if there wasn't a hard limit of 30 merchants per episode. Like that, I feel is one of the biggest drawbacks of this game. It's like I wouldn't mind setting up like little routes to have a merchant pick up some cedar here, drop it off here, and then have a merchant on a boat take it off and do the big route. But it's a waste of a merchant, and you get to a point in the game where it is the main blocker because it's got more money than you know what to do with. But I would quite like to have like somebody on a cedar route that just goes from here to here to here to here, and then have all of the cedar merchants. Say you have Hannibal here that goes off to all the Phoenician dockyards, and then somebody goes to all the Israeli dockyards, and to the other Carthaginian dockyards. But it's kind of not viable. I mean, what I guess you could do is have each of the people pick up their cedar from a different route. So if you're going to Carthage, you take it from this one. If you're going to Sicily, go up here. And I think that's what they had in mind. But I'd just rather have like bronze is a good example. I'd rather just have a dedicated bronze merchant that just carries the copper from there and then to tin from there and then just dumps the bronze. and then somebody comes along and takes the bronze and does their own thing with it. But, you know. But also, this is irritating. I can't save the route, but I need to close the thing to build a palace there. Yes, that seems reasonable. I will just do the construction. Just forget about that. Forget I said anything. Now, we'll have the palace set up here. Which is regular RPAD. I think it's not worth bringing the canal up. I don't think you can bring the canal up, can you? Possibly, but I'm feeling cheap, so I won't. It's probably going to cost me in the long term. It's also a lot of effort to try to sell these guys some ivory, but I'm hoping they'll pay me good money for it. So that's one palace. That's the other palace. There is a... There's a palace close to the sea there. Oh, that's not bad actually. A barge yard, a palace, a temple. In fact, some fish, some wheat. You bring in the raw materials for a weaver and you've got yourself a nice little city there. It probably is a city. It's probably like Jericho or something. I don't know my ancient Israeli cities. I don't know my modern Israeli cities. And we never will if we end up with this much money. I've just got to wait for somebody to come in and make some money. Oh, this is not what I want. I'd look at the price of cedar just skyrocketing. Who would have thought this would have happened? Come on, guys, you're taking me for a ride here. I wonder what the best course of action is. Perhaps it's better to go to there, pick up 4, then pick up the rest from here. Because like I say, these people are charging me a bit below base price, but not enough below base price. And also, wow! I've got a feeling that's coming from buying ivory. Also, I don't think this route's as profitable as I thought it was going to be, because we've not had one of those promotion thing pop up. Boosh! Hannibal's made loads of money. There's loads of new skill. In fact, none of my merchants have yet. I'm a little bit worried. There's Nebuchadnezzar. He's making a sizable amount of money. You can review the victory condition. Not a bad idea. Give us something to do. So you get a certain amount from wealth, and then special. I don't know how much you get for each point of population. I think it's each point of population. But at this rate, we'll never know. Oh no. This isn't what I wanted to happen at all. So we'll take... I knew it. I knew that palace would be the dropping off point. It just can't handle two merchants. I've been taken for a ride here. It's unfortunate because this place is gagging for cedar, and this place should as well. Like that's 3. That's 3. But alas. Come on, buy the bloody cedar. Oh, thank God. Right, he's able to get on and make some money. Yes! Almost in the red. Out of the red. Into the black. Nice. So if we go to this place here, I'm thinking I'll build a market, and as long as it has both fishermen in, I can put it relatively inland, and that covers almost everything. Gaza! Lovely. That's Gaza? I guess so. Right, and now we wait. We'll go back to Phoenicia and we'll watch. Ooh, that looks good. Somebody must have gone to Kimara. Hannibal's struggling to sell that. Baal worshipped. Good. Earthquake. Mines in Phoenicia are closed until it's safe to operate. Fortunately, there's probably a stockpile of. I was going to say, fortunately, there's a stockpile of ceramics, but no, that's just not happening. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to do? Go to Israel, build a seaport. The beauty of it is, when the game develops and more luxuries come in, I can use this route over and over again. So even though it's a sunk cost and it's fairly slow to expand now, when things get going, they will really get going. So what I'm also thinking is not selling so much cedar here, and instead go to. Okay, so if we pick up one more, then go to Phoenicia. Like that, but only sell one. Go to Southern Seleucia. Go to regular Seleucia. Go to Kimara. Go to Gaza. Go back to. I can't remember the name of it. Western Phoenicia? There. And then we go to the Ivory. Go to Northern Sneaker. Go to Carthage. On a galley. Leave with 3. Oh god, how many people are... Why are people settling in Carthage? There's nothing there. It's just a temple or a palace. Go to Gaza. Go to... Why am I guessing? I have to write it down really. Western Phoenicia. Is there anything cheaper than an Egyptian barge? No. Sell an ivory statuette there. Go to Western Arpad. Change to a mule. Keep your ivory statuette. Go to Arpad. Go back to Western Arpad. Get back on a barge. Go to Western Phoenicia. Get on the galley. Go to Carthage. Get on a mule. And then we'll have some men-at-arms as well. 2, I think, should suffice. What kind of profit am I looking at here? You hire them once, and then they follow you through the whole journey. So that's $20, it says there. 20 coins, and I intend to make... what's that? 150, 300 markup on each. So I think I can afford. I might be able to afford a third. I'll do that. Now, who can do some price gouging for me? Nobody but Sirius is good at seamanship. So, you'll do. What's useful is I can kind of remember this route and remember it as a palace run, so I'll just copy-paste part of the route. Or I might write it down, actually. But I'll do that when you're not, you know, watching. There's probably better things for you to do than watch me scribble down on a notepad you can't see. Oh, I've just thought. Cedar Phoenicia now requires men-at-arms. 2 because I'm cheap. Also, it's weak. I'm not too fussed. I could probably get away with 1. And that fixes this problem where trying to sell 2 to a place that doesn't want to. Because look at that price. It's practically at base price now. When incomes come by seas, as it's here to rob me of my profits again. I've got some comfortable money coming in. Iconoclasm in Israel is stopping me selling into the temples, so forget you. Good price for ceramics, but then again that's because we've not been able to. Also, I'm going to buy you. Well, it looks like it wasn't making much of a profit, but I just like to have control. They call it vertical integration, isn't it, when you control every aspect of the supply chain. And that's what I'm going to do. Finally! So merchants have got experience, and it is Cedar Phoenicia. Persuasion, I guess. Since you're not working with animals. So I'm going to have Byblos here, but I'm not going to focus on any other towns outside of Phoenicia because there is no point. Hey, Cedar Phoenicia again. Seamanship, that's fair. So Hannibal is quick on all parts of that route. He's a river pilot and is a seaman. 3,000. Is that when you get your first promotion? About 3,000? So Carthage seems like the natural place to go because that is, you know, the famous Phoenicia's famous son, as it were. We've got pretty much everything. If we set up a market here, Utica. I know that Utica, New York is pronounced Utica, but I couldn't tell you if Utica, Carthage is pronounced Utica, or if that's Utica. Or it might be a soft C. Although unlikely, because even I've been calling it Seleucia, and Seleucid Empire. I'm under the impression that it's actually Seleucid. In the same way, it's supposed to be Macedon and Macedonia. And also, Caesar is supposed to be Caesar, which is why Kaiser sounds a lot more like Kaiser than Caesar. Because Kaiser is supposed to be a sort of derivation of Caesar, but you wonder, well, where does hard K come from? But if you think of it, Caesar, Kaiser, where you get Tsar from, that just sounds like you just can't be bothered to pronounce the first syllable. Just Russian negligence. Tsar. Hail Tsar. So let's get a trading post here. Or I just can't do it. Yes, I can. I can do it. Western Uthnia? Uthnia. Oh, yeah. Athena. Western Athena. There we go. Welcome to Pronounce with by Jingo. We'll have a great time. We'll get caravanserai there. So we've got some wool. We've got some pottery. There's a weaver. No, we've got some. Where's the linen? There's some sheep. There's some flax over there. In fact, that would probably be better. But I made up my mind now. There's also a palace there. Am I missing out on something here? probably am. So if I set up a market that picks up the wool, picks up the flax, picks up the coast, I can't do it all. Not with a market, but I'll be able to do it with an emporium. Or is it bazaar that comes next? There is an improvement later on. I'll bear that in mind. Meanwhile, God, there's so many better places I could have gone. But I just like the idea of getting it all sorted in one place. All these ceramics, all of your goods and chattels. And the thing is, you can go from Western Northenia, you can take one ceramic, one wool, one flax when you find it, and then just go to a city, and then boom, that's your Carthaginian white goods sorted for Utica. I just need to find a good place for... I just need to find a good flax farm. And there aren't any. I'm just thinking, like, this would be ideal, but I'm tempted. I want to get the palace, the temple, the flax farm, the weaver, the wool, and the barnyard in, and some coastline as well. So, just close all those windows. I thought there would be some kind of way to easily close them, but no, because this game isn't about quality of life improvements. I could get in a boat. That seems a bit extravagant. You can actually build a canal through this bit here, which isn't a bad idea. I might do that later. Stick a pin in it. We'll get round to it. In fact, we'll do it now. In fact, I'm thinking, if you have that fishing boat, that sheep farm, bit of flax, bit of wheat, you can bring some ceramics in and you've got yourself another city. You'd be able to do it if it wasn't for the wheat farm. Never mind. What about that flax farm? It's just a bit distant. So it's a long way to go. Ooh, there's a weaver and a flax farm there. That's not bad. It's also not good. Fine, I will pay the extra 200. Hippodioritis. Sounds disgusting. Well, we'll purchase you, because, you know, monopoly and all that. If I'd have thought about it, we could have had a sea route up there, and we could have gone all the way around onto Utica that way. But that's for future me to worry about. For the time being, we'll just have caravanserai. It'd be nice to have some kind of automation as well, just instead of having to... I'm doing a lot of like wishing with this game. So we need a potter and another weaver, because there's no way in hell I'm taking up most of a transport by carrying 3 wool. It's just not happening. I discovered silver mining. What does that do for me? Nothing, because I've not got any smelting yet, but I've got a feeling that you stick a pin in it, we'll come back to that. In the meantime, let's buy a potter. And when the time comes, build a weaver. This is a very expensive way to get one city, but like I said, I'm hoping I'll be able to supply like Utica here, northern Utica here, Anywhere where there is sufficient food. Here. Could have lots of little places. There's no fish there, but if there was some way I could get both the temple and the palace together, I'd build another city there. Or a market. The people will build the city. Again, there's another thing I just like about this game. It's like, I'm not actually concerned about the city that crops up. To me, it's just a market. The fact that people want to live there and make their lives and dreams set up here doesn't matter. All I care is that it's a market. It's got the name of a famous city, but it's not a city. There's in game terms, there's no difference between this and this. Didn't think that through. Okay, there's no point in Phoenecia being there. So with that, let's get rid of it. It's not like you will ever struggle for ivory supply. I mean, we might do later on if like more. I don't know. I mean, I could set up a second. If I supplied every single temple, every single palace in this game, it would come to about 10 ivory. So it's not really a big thing. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, I was saving up for a weaver. Good stuff. And then we will have Utica white goods. I like the expression white goods. It's like I'm selling them fridges and toasters. But it's the same thing. It's like consumer goods, isn't it? Just ancient style. There's a Western Uthnia on a dray. I didn't know I had a dray. But let's take ceramics, wool cloth, go to Hippodiaratus. You've already got these. What would be nice as well if there's a button I could press when you add a market that it just keeps the goods that are already in there. Because what you find is when you go to like Hippodiaratus doesn't produce ceramics, so when you go up to there to select where you want it, you have to scroll down quite a long way. Because this is quite good. It orders it by what's in demand and what's supplied, and then everything else is alphabetical. Right, so that's a nice guaranteed income. Let's give it to somebody that is it worth price gouging? Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think there's enough demand to warrant it. Although maybe there will be by the time they get there. I'd rather have marketeering, but that's not an option. And I'll keep Gilgamesh because I know that weapons come in at some point, and weapons are always a moneymaker. I'll sell weapons to the Israelis. Anyway, if this game hasn't got me on some kind of like government watch list by now, the amount I've been talking about Gaza, so I'll be selling weapons to Gaza. Well, I've got to stop now. I'm starting to worry. Not enough money for a merchant. That saves that. Then I will wait. I might upgrade that to a dray at some point, but the camel's going fast enough, and I'm not making any money at the moment. Let's go to Phoenicia and watch the. Oh, that's nice. The price of cedar's come down. Right, I paid off my debts, but I'm not making any money. Ah, there we go. Right, Xerxes, I need you to go and do the Utica white goods run. What else have we got in? Well, there's no reason why I shouldn't set up a little town there. I mean, the prices will be higher in Utica because there's just more food for it to grow into. But this will probably be able to sustain 9, and then this one here probably another 9. I'd be inclined to set up a seaport in Utica as well. So, ooh, there's just not enough room to fit both in, to fit 6. Because then you could go to Utica and you could go to there and then you could go to here. Still, never mind. I'm also not thinking very far ahead because presumably this game's going to get a lot more complicated in terms of commodities. We'll set it up like that, and if I want the wool, I can upgrade later. Yeah, by a long way. Probably won't want the wool, but you never know. That's Kirkawane. And then we'll have one in Thapsus. Now I've heard of Thapsus. That makes an appearance in Rome Total War. Oh, that's expensive. So a seaport here. See, if I wanted to ramp up prices, I could include it as just one. Ooh. Scythian raids. Phoenicia pillaged. Shattered heirlooms must be replaced. Passage to Phoenicia more dangerous. Well, one part of that I didn't mind. The rest of it, not so much. I think that increases the demand for luxuries. And since I've started selling ivory statuettes, they need replacing, and somebody's got to replace it, so it may as well be me. Set up a seaport in Thapsus, and then we'll have new route. Oh, I didn't build a. Oh well. Well, bear that in mind, and then when the time comes to build a seaport, so I'm fairly sure a seaport's going to be useful here for imports from Phoenicia. At some point, when the money rolls in. Well, presumably at some point we're going to be overflowing with cash, but not if the game's paused. Good job. He's always selling his fish, but you can market that fish. I might put Sorg on a different route, and then when I buy a famine relief, I can put him on the fish route. I have to keep checking now if it's a seaport or not. So I'll go back to Thapsus White Goods, leave Utica on a Galley, go to Thapsus, go back to Utica, turn into a dray. Easy as that. Right, there we go, Miss Anapanna. Miss Anapada. Marketeering's probably better for you because you're trying to sell 2 ceramics to a place that just doesn't have the demand for it. Ooh, come on. Ooh, here we go. Cambyses encountered a band of pirates while crossing from the Kingdom of Israel to Phoenicia by way of the Levant coast. So presumably he's on the Cedar route. 55% chance of fighting, 33% chance of bribing with 0. So there's nothing on. It's an empty ship so far, so I've got nothing to lose. But everything to gain. They were no match for us. We defeated the pirates handily. We even plundered some of their own loot for 202 coins. Nice. I don't know when that money actually gets added. Because it wasn't just then. Right, go on, Miss Anna Panda. Miss Anna Panda? Close enough. Let's take you on the Thapsus white goods route. And then there's also the Kirkawani route, which I should be able to set up by just changing that to Kirkawani. Lovely. Change the name. Kirkawan? Kirkawan. Good. Right. And we'll get... The Ramson's got an honest reputation. But what I'm now thinking is Sargon S. Here's a seaman, so he's actually ideal for it. So you actually have changed your mind. You go on the Kirkawan white goods route, and we will buy somebody that sells fish or that has famine release to do your route. So just dump those goods into the sea. Doesn't matter, you weren't expecting them, you know. I mean, when you're only paying me 266, I'm going to throw them into the sea out of spite. And now we can afford Darius. You do Sargon's old route, which was Biblos fish. Copper ore. Oh, how is it? I'm going to buy smelting. There's wow, that's a lot of demand for ivory statuettes. Then again, that's because of the special event. So, who buys silver? Temples do. Okay, so if I make a list of where all the temples are and where all the palaces are, I can build up luxury routes. But for the time being, where do we get silver from? It's not in Phoenicia. Ooh, we get some in the Straits of Gibraltar. The Straits of Gibraltar is unique in this scenario in that it's not directly connected to Phoenicia. I think everywhere else, yeah, there's only one river crossing between one crossing between Phoenicia and where you're going to go. But I can't see any there. I can't see any in Carthage. What about the Kingdom of Israel? No. So this is probably going to require a bit of investment. I also need to count how many temples there are. There's one there. 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm assuming they're not all by the sea. Presumably enough of them are by the sea that you can go out in one direction and then like pick up on the other. I know what I mean. There's also, I don't think, an easy way of getting like a ship full. Oh yes, there is. Build a canal up to there. Set up a smelter. Fill it up with 8 silver, and just go across the Mediterranean just selling silver. But then again, none of them are by... There's no temples by the sea. And what I find weird is that palaces don't take silver at all. It's not even a reduced rate. I'll think about it, but in the meantime, we've got to build up some funds. So I'll just sort of watch this money coming in. Oh, in comes the bronze. I presume so. I mean, you've got tin. I don't know what else it's going to be. So you could theoretically take the silver ore to this smelter here, but why? Why would you? There's bronze smelting. I was going to say I don't think dwellings demand it, but I've just remembered that bronze mirrors exist. So I'll have to put the silver on hold for the time being, because there's actually quite a few markets to satisfy now. How much does that cost? 1,500. There we go. A new commodity, bronze hand mirrors, is demanded by the following structures: dwelling, oracle, palace, temple. Again, palaces are used. Oh, I was going to say. Oh, that's a bit camp. Bronze hand mirrors. I gotta say palaces are useless because they don't... What kind of demand is that? It's like a dwelling. Okay, it's like 4 dwellings, but point still stands. But that bronze sword... I'm salivating at the prospect of it. So Shelval plans to do with bronze smelting with silver, because bronze is more critical for the time being. Also, we've got 12, 6, 6. 24. How does that affect the score? I get 200,000, which is maybe into a budding entrepreneur. I don't know quite how that's calculated, unless there's some. I'm not counting that up right. Yeah, 6, 12, 24 means 200,000. Whoa! Where'd you come from? Also, don't do that because you're eating into my supplies. It looks pretty though, doesn't it? Always those dwellings on the hillside. So I'm even more confused as to maybe it's the number of markets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where I get 200,000 from. I also don't know if it's to do with the number of places. So if I have like a lot in Carthage and none anywhere else, will that help or hinder? Also, why has everything stopped? Oh, it's all waiting on the potter. Because these people keep buying it. Also, look at that. It's not a bad place to live. There's no food, but you can get some cheap wool cloth. And oh, I can. No, thank you. I might buy it later because money does come in eventually. That's what we tend to learn from these. It takes a while, but the money does come in. Let's take a look. Right. You can get copper. I'm not seeing any tin. I'm seeing a lot of copper. Straits of Gibraltar. There's some tin. That's a lot of tin. And there's a smelter. But no copper. And then what about Western Sicily? We seem to have neglected. We've been everywhere else apart from here. But this looks promising. Some tin there. Some copper here. Smelter there, but that's not the right place. I can work with that. It'd be better if I could have it by the sea. It'd be a lot better. Because then you could get some tin, drop it off, get some tin, drop it off, leave with bronze mirrors, profit. What about if I was to build my own smelter? Yes. That works. I like that. I like that a lot. But I can't afford any of it. So we wait. I thought I'd be more successful by now. When does that end? I can't actually see because I've got the timer that tells me I've been doing this for an hour and a half. And it's actually blocking when the episode ends. So I've got from 1200 to blank. I'm going to say 800. So that's your market. God, I hope I can build a seaport there. I will be most displeased if I can't. Northeastern Panormus. That's a great name. So this was Lilybaeum is over here. Syracuse is an excellent spot for a colony, and a look at the map will show you why. That's a part of a Caesar 3 meme that I just can't get involved in because I'm not that much of a. Ooh, I've just an idea. Seaport, profit. Yes, so you can do it in just 1 or 2 journeys as opposed to however many that a land vehicle would do it in. I got inordinately excited. Western Sultan. So Syracuse, excellent site for a colony that it is not in this map because this is just Western Sicily. Not even interested in Eastern Sicily. Ooh. Hannibal has encountered a band of Cretan archers. Cretan archers. I remember them from they're mercenaries you can buy in Rome Total War, and they are fantastic. As it happens, not fantastic enough. We get 296 coins. That goes nicely in the pocket of somebody. I don't know quite who. Presumably it comes into my pocket soon, but I might watch this video back and see if the counter goes up. But I'm fairly sure it doesn't. Oh, thank God. So worried then. A seaport there, a seaport there. I will buy a smelter, I will buy a bronze worker. That's fine. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to play the game, but if they didn't want me to play the game like this, they shouldn't have limited merchants to just having 30 merchants. It ain't right. I have thought it's going to be quite a trek because you've got to go all the way around Sicily. Unless you can theoretically put a canal all the way through Sicily to stop you going around there like that. That's interesting. There we go, the money's rolling in now. Cambyses is going to do some price gouging and the money's just going to rocket. And here's Hannibal. Like, it looked like I didn't know what I was doing. And to some extent I didn't. But I feel quite vindicated now. So the second time I've used this word today. It's been a day of vindication, what can I say? There's a lot to be vindicated about. But the money's just rolling in now. And what I like from that cedar route is it's like it's steady. It's like a steady income throughout the game. So even when dealing with markets and you have to spend money to make money, there's this continuous route that is just makes you money. So we want a bronze smith. And then I'm going to focus on Carthage first. And then I will look at... Because I wouldn't mind getting a couple of... Like, some hardy people are living in Gaza. But there's nothing. There's no ceramics, no linen cloth, no wool cloth. There could be. If I provided it, but I'm not. So there isn't. But I could do. There is sheep, there is flax, there is clay. I can bring in bronze mirrors, but they don't want them. There's no demand for them. How's Phoenicia looking these days? Byblos is looking... not bad. I can take a bronze hand mirror to Byblos. I can go to Carthage, take one to Utica, one to Kirkoan, one to Thapsus. I may as well do Gaza if I want at it. We'll just do a bronze mirror tour. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That's not what I wanted, that's the one I want. So we'll have new. Mirrors 1. It's not very descriptive. We'll say mirrors Carth. Foe is. And that doesn't describe anything. So we'll go to Western Solunum. On a merchant galley, pick up all of your tin. Oh, nice and cheap. Look at that. Go to Northern Panormus. Go back to Western Solunum. Go back to Northeastern Panormus. Pick up a lot of bronze mirrors. Forgot that would have been embarrassing. And then we've got a lot of money to make. So go to Utica, Kerosene, Thapsus, Gaza, Byblos. Well, it goes so much quicker if you can just remember the names of the cities, isn't it? But I shouldn't have to do that as the player. So you leave there. Sell 1. Go to Kerosene. Sell 1. Go to Thapsus. Sell 1. Go to Gaza. Sell 1. Go to Byblos. Sell 4. That doesn't quite work. I'm going to take 2 off. I don't mind selling 2 at Byblos. I think it's got the size for it. And then, the beauty of that route is you don't have to change transporter, so there's no attrition of profits. But what there would be attrition of profits for is if they got robbed. So we'll go back there, and I think we can afford that because I'll be selling them at 600 profit each, and it'll just be foolhardy to just skimp on an extra $10. Okay, I can't afford a merchant yet, but that's fine. Perfectly happy to just wait for attrition to build up. No, demands to build up. What I can also think of, Scythian raids have stopped. That's bad news for me because that means the price of ivory is going to go down. Carthage has been pillaged, however. Shattered heirlooms must be replaced. Passage to Carthage is more dangerous. Right, I think I can afford somebody now. So we'll go with Naramsin. He's got an honest reputation. And it was Mirrors, Carth, Foe is. What I'm thinking. I remember just in time. I don't want you to produce swords here. Sword production will take place elsewhere. But nowhere's going to be quite as productive as that. I think I might make swords in the Straits of Gibraltar. Somewhere like that. Yes. Oh, the canals you can build? I had no idea how extensively you could use canals. There's nothing stopping you taking an Egyptian barge down to the sea. In fact, can I take a canal past the silver? I don't. You can. It would cost a fortune. Wait, that's something different. I'm looking at this one here. I think I'm actually getting water to run uphill here. Okay, there is a natural limit. I was thinking about being cheeky and just taking it past the silver mine there. I might have to just have two separate canals. Oh well. I can't do anything yet because I've got 73 gold. Oh! I've got less than that. I've got a significantly less than that. So I can make some swords here. It'll not be too productive because there's only one copper mine. So you are going to be very profitable. But you can pick up 8 swords and drop them off at 8 palaces, I think. And I would be willing to... I mean, that's got to be worth a canal in there to sell swords there and silver. Oh yeah, I forgot about silver. Got a bit carried away. I do think swords is the next place to go though. I might go there on the way back. So take the swords. You can sell a sword there. Ooh. It's a shame there's no tin here because that might not be a bad place. Oh well. There's probably enough palaces by the sea that I can then worm my way back by changing to a land transporter and going inland. Well, then where are the palaces here? You see, that's a palace by the sea. That's a temple by the sea as well. Oh, Carthage, you will make me money. Well, not a great deal so far. So we'll go to Carthage. We can go to wherever this is, Northern Thapsus. So as long as there's 4, I should be all right. Yeah. Oh, easily. In fact, we can sell some cedar there while we're at it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. 6. 7. 8. Okay, that works for me. So we'll set up. I mean, what I could do, rather than building a canal that goes halfway through Spain, is oh, that again. That's a long way to take bronze ingots, considering you've got to go backwards and forwards, and it takes two bronze ingots per sword. And you have to do it on a dray, so you go backwards and forwards. It's just not worth it. So let's just build a huge canal that would make the Chinese of the Qin dynasty blush. I know that specifically because I've built that Grand Canal in Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom. And one of these days I may even play Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, but if I make another promise regarding city builders, I'm going to get such a bad reputation because I've yet to finish one. It's almost finished Zeus, but there's also Poseidon on top of that. And I think that's the siren in the background. Oh, come on. That's gone now. It's very obnoxious. What is also obnoxious is the fact I can't build a... Oh, not enough money. Oh, that's worse. Famine in Western Sicily. Is it affecting bronze production? No. Good. It's so heartless. But like I say, this game, it's all just focused on the markets. There we go. Phew. Okay, so we'll make this a sword route. Swords. Leave Northern Fajar. On an Egyptian barge with a lot of swords. I'll presumably have... Ooh, I could have a city there. What I think is Carthago Nova. I just say that because that's the only city in the region that I know of. And that's from Rome Total War. Yes, I didn't get very far with that. So we'll need to have... Oh, that's ugly, actually. That's very ugly. I'll have to mark it there. And a market here. But after that... Oh, and the market, extra market in Carthage. But after that, I think we're done. Building stuff. I've also got to pay for the construction buildings. But once it's all done, we'll have a fairly easy route to sell palace goods. And we've got some money. I don't know where that money's come from. Yes, abandon that route. We'll set up a market here. Tartetus. And then we'll have a river port there. And I'm already out of money. I'm back in the money. And a seaport there. And a bazaar. Does that mean I can build a mega city in Mega City Carthage? Probably, actually. I can't afford the bazaar, but stick a pin in it. We'll look at it. In the meantime, I need to build a market and a seaport here. When the money comes in, and the money has come in. Oh, nice. I mean, how would you feel if you were that guy? It's like you can't get any bronze, he can't get any copper, but I'm going to come in and just sell the swords and just take you straight out of business. What's quite cool in Railroad Tycoon is if you don't do anything, goods travel by themselves, just slowly. Well, it depends on the scenario. I think one of the reasons there's a scenario called Orient Express on there, and the reason that's so difficult is that goods travel so fast without railroads, and you're just like, why am I even here? I mean, the reason you're on the Orient Express episode is to take passengers from Vienna to Istanbul, so I guess that's kind of the point. I'd play more Railroad Tycoon 3, but I can install it, but I can't update it to the latest patch. Okay, so I need... Oh, in fact, quite the way there. I was going to say I need 2,000 to buy a bazaar to see if I can get the range to build Super Carthage City 1. The Mega Carthage. Come on, Miss Anna Panda. You're the one that's going to make me that money. Or not. Oh, that's nice. Not a great place to live, but who's doing the mirror route? What are we waiting on there? I was waiting on the smelter. But when that happens, where's all my money gone? Barbarian invasion, Carthage pillaged. Again? Didn't that happen last time? Yes, it's been double pillaged. Okay, so... have you sold any mirrors yet? $2,000. Come on, 2,000. There we go. Buy a bazaar. And now we can just plan. See if we can get this mega city. Not even close. Although, we can get something akin to a mega city, just not what I want. Although it's nice to know that that gets a lot of wheat. Then we can just have a separate thing for this palace. So disappointing. What a waste. I want my 2,000 back. Come on, come on, come on. That's it. No, it's not. I need another 200. Neapolis. Now that sounds distinctly Roman. Okay, so we'll go back to swords. I think I have to create it from scratch. And we will say swords. So let's go. Straits of Gibraltar. You go to Northern Vijar. Vijar. On an Egyptian barge. You take 8. I'm well aware I have to pay for the production buildings. We then go to Tartessus. We'll get on a merchant galley. There are 7 swords. Go to Tingis. Go to Carthage. Then Neapolis. Then Gaza. Then Western Phoenicia. Get on an Egyptian barge. Go to Western Arpad. Get on a mule. Get on a horse. Then go to regular Arpad. Then go back to Western Arpad. Then go to Western Phoenicia. No, do no such thing. Leave Western Arpad on an Egyptian barge. What? Go to Western Phoenicia, Western Arpad, go to Arpad, go to Western Arpad. On an Egyptian barge. Go to Western Phoenicia. On a galley. I'm sure I set up a route to try to make this less complicated. Sell 1 bronze sword there. 1 bronze sword. Come on, help me out, game. Also, they really want ivory statuettes. 1 bronze sword there. Sell 1 bronze sword there. 1 bronze sword there. Carry it with you to Western Arpad. Sell 1 sword there. Take it with you to Western Arpad. And to Western Phoenicia. Then go back to Western Sicily, where there is a palace. But I can't save the route as it stands. So just go... Ooh. So just go to Tartessus for the time being. On a mule. And then we're going to get some money. There we go, Utica white goods. Neither of these are useful. Never mind. Persuasion. Now, what's the best way of getting to that palace? Ooh. Is it worth having a settlement here? Probably not. This is probably going to get very complicated very quickly. It's like I'm steadfastly just refusing to have any production and buildings nearby. You're just there to buy things, not make things. Come on, come on, come on. What's taking so long? Also, has that chap sold any mirrors yet? 4,126 down. I mean, fortunately, that's not as bad as all that, because the smelter's taken 1,300 of that. But that still means I'm 3,000 down on the thing. Or 2,500. Oh, that's bad. Where's the money gone? It's alright, and the Ramsim's going to make it back. It's just, I don't know when. Also, if I do grow Agricas into a thing, and Tartessus, I've got the mirror route set up, so he can just carry 8 instead of 6. Ah, there we go. There's some money. Oh, a nice change of road style. Nice. So that's all right. We'll go to the Straits of Gibraltar because we still need to get to here. I almost want to just have a canal up there, but it won't help. So we'll have... can we have... I may be a bit overambitious with these potential cities. But if some of them work, and if they don't, they don't. And once I've made the money, I can probably shift some merchants from the luxury routes and into, you know, making people happy. Ugh. Eastern Gades, I don't know. Seaport, have it there. Earthquake in Straits of Gibraltar are closed until safe to operate. Oh, come on, game. I mean, fortunately, there should be some deposits just built up there. Oh, that's nice. So that's 10 minus 62. Oh, let's check on Naramsin. How's he getting on? Let's do this until some money builds up. And, oh, there's so much demand. We could have a couple of people on that route, actually. Well, I'm not convinced it's profitable. Look at that. Kerosene. Oh, that's demand in kerosene. Nice. We'll come back to you, because now we've got the money to do things in the Straits of Gibraltar. We'll set up a pathway. Something like that. There's actual Gades. Or Gardes? Gadar? Gardi? I don't know. You tell me. And once you've gone there, you could probably just walk back up to Northern Vijar. And you know what? That's exactly what you're going to do. Okay, so let's look at the sword route again. Because Northern Vijar, Tartessus, to Tingis, to Carthage, to Neapolis, to Gaza, to Western Phoenicia, to Arpad, to Western Arpad, to Western Phoenicia. You leave Western Phoenicia, you go to Western Sicily. To Agragas. Again with 2 bronze swords. I'll give you a horse. You then go to Drepane. With 1, go back to Agragas on a merchant galley. No, on a regular galley. Go to... Oh wait, have a sword with you. Go to... Is it Southern Guardies? Eastern Guardies. With a sword. Don't leave... Leaving a horse. Go to regular Guardies. I don't think you can leave there on a... No, you can't leave there on a boat, but thank you for recommending it. Stay on the horse, and then go to Northern Vijar. Save. Straits of Gibraltar, Northern Vijar. There's a production building in the form of... We'll buy you, so thank you for spending 1,000. And a bronze smith who will just make swords. And then we will have, as soon as we can afford him, actually, how's Naramsim getting on? He's not been mugged yet. Is he not going to Neapolis? Where's he going? Oh no, he's a mirrors man, isn't he? He's kind of making some money. We can definitely have a second merchant on that. Look how much they're craving bronze hand mirrors. But first, we're going to have Gilgamesh. He's going to sell swords. And I think... Whoa, I've just thought. There is no way I'm letting some jumped up bandits get hold of my swords. Because that'll just make them worse. So you restart that route. Now let's just run through that again. I'm fairly sure I've got that right. So it's Northern Vajar. Smelter smelts. Bronzesmith bronzes. Creates swords. He picks up 8. Goes to Tartessus. Turns into a boat. That boat then goes to Tingis. There's Tingis. There's a palace there. There's demand. Carthage. It's there. Neapolis. Not quite any demand in Neapolis. By the time he gets there, there will be though. And then goes to Gaza, where there is demand. Then to Western Phoenicia, where there's demand. Turns into a boat after selling 1. Goes to Western Arpad. Goes to Arpad, sells 1 because there's demand. Goes back to Western Arpad, turns back into a boat. Goes to Western Phoenicia. Goes to Agragas. Sells 1 at Drepane. Goes back to Agragas. Goes to Eastern Gades. Goes to regular Gades, where there will soon be demand. Okay. Happy with that. Now let's talk silver. No, what I'm thinking now is I might just let the funds build up for a bit, and then I will call it for a night, because you can probably hear my voice is starting to go a little bit, and I've been doing this for 2 hours and 10 minutes, and that's going to be a hell of a video to watch, I guess. How Sargon is speeding along. What can I say? There's money to be made in Utica. What I might do is get a second... get somebody who knows leadership on the mirrors route, because there is definitely demand for mirrors. I'm also thinking of upgrading the mirrors route to include... because it's currently got Utica, Kerowene, Thapsus. I'm also thinking... are we selling them to Tyre? No, I've forgotten all about Tyre. So we need some more tin. More tin. More bronze hand mirrors. Gaza. Oh, I am already selling to Gaza. Oh well. So if we say Gaza, Tyre, Byblos, sell 2, because, you know, I like Byblos. It's where the family is. Well, the family in this game, anyway. I don't have any family in real life in Byblos. In fact, I don't know if Byblos exists in real life. Well, in modern day real life. Fairly sure it existed in real life in the past. I can't be certain. I've just heard so. And then if we go to Western Sicily, we can sell some, presumably aggregas. But I'm also thinking maybe I can go from Carthage to Aggregas and sell goods there. So sell 2 there, then go to Aggregas, and then start again. That does leave me with having to provide for Gaza. Shouldn't be a problem. We can pick up ceramics. There's a weaver. There's some flax. There's some wool. In fact, if I felt like building another couple of cities here, that's fine. But I don't. I mean, what I could do is I could use this setup here because it's probably fine. Well, having said that, no, it looks fine. It doesn't look like we're having to wait for a long time for... In fact, wool cloth is in abundance. So I could just add an extra route. So I say Thapsus white goods and we'll change it to Aggregus white goods. And then just change the market you go to. Probably going to stick some men at arms on there since it's since we're going abroad. That seems better somehow than trying to set up an entire industry here. Although I don't want to overdo it. We'll see how we get on. Can always change it later. Right, I need 2 more merchants. I also need the money. So where's Naramsin? He's my one to follow for the time being. He's on his way to Gaza. He's almost broken even. He should do after he sold those 3 mirrors. Which isn't bad. We've always got to consider that a merchant's first route is never going to be profitable because he's got to pay for all of his transports. I mean, when you change transports, you kind of sell the one you're in. So when he changes from a merchant galley to a mule, say, you'll sell the merchant galley for about 2/3 of the price, then buy the mule for the full price. So you don't want to change transporters very often. But since he never does, he only has to pay for that galley once, which is why it looked so stark at minus 3,000. I still can't afford a merchant yet. When I do, I will find somebody that can price gouge, I think. There isn't one. Oh well. We'll get somebody with leadership because probably going to get attacked by bandits. As far as I can remember, they get pretty hectic towards the end of the game. So you go on the mirrors route as well. I should have put the name first. Oh, I did. Name the commodity first. And then we will have another merchant. Ah. Change of plan. The new guy who I've just bought. What was he called? Can't find him. Oh, it'll be him. New orders. You do Aggregus white goods. So I've found a price gouger. Well, to be fair, he'd probably make quite a bit of money as a price gouger with white goods for. So we'll get price gouger. You do the mirrors route. And then we can start looking at silver. I keep saying that. But I'm also wondering why. I'll come because I've got to set up an entire route like I did with palaces, but with temples. I think temples demand something later on, but they don't really like ivory statuettes. They do like silver ingots, but silver ingots sell for 300, 600, 450 per unit. I guess that's not bad. Nothing to sneeze at. Also, where's this money suddenly come from? And is it worth... And the answer is maybe. Because I could set up a second city here. And a third city there. In fact, that one would be a very good city. I'd have to use up 3 merchant slots though. If I was to do 3 cities. Perhaps I'll just do 2. I'll have Gaza here and wherever this is. Well, let's start it as a market. When it gets bigger, turn it into a bazaar. As long as I have it there, that should be fine. Western Shechem. Okay. And then we have... Ooh. Oh, yes. That's your flax. And... What's a good way of doing that? I don't know, but that is an excellent place. That's worth upgrading to a market. There's also some bronze down there, but well, some copper down there. Not too fussed about that. That's Sechem Major. So we'll put a weaver there and never look back. Never get out of the place as well, apparently. So we'll go there. Is it worth putting a seaport in and just sailing down there? I'm kind of thinking no. I think I'd rather just go... Because like I was saying before, with the constant changing of transports, you do lose something. I wouldn't be gaining much either. So build a road down to Gaza. When I'm in Gaza, pick up some ceramics. And then go back to Sechem, sell the ceramics, go back up, pick up the clothes, and backwards and forwards. Nice. But again, how spaced out are these? There's Judah. I don't know why I said that like it meant anything. Judah. Now, how much does it cost to have basically a very long road going across here? A lot, 407. I can't afford that. I can't afford it even, well, I can afford it even less now. Let's see, let's watch. Who's going to make us money? Gilgamesh is closer than I thought, actually. He's going to make us a lot of money. But at the moment he's had to pay 660 for the merchant galley. And that's going to be even more when he changes it to an Egyptian barge. Ugh. Yeah, that's going to be a... Oh, hello. Naram-Sin encountered a band of Cretan archers while crossing from Phoenicia to western Sicily, but they caught him at the wrong part of his journey because he's not carrying any cargo. We could fight them, bribe them, flee. I'll fight them. 342 coins, very nice. If you flee, you don't win any money, but he just carries on with his route. On either of those, they can get captured. You have to pay a ransom of about 600 800, I think, gold coins, and they get returned back to... where is he? Yeah, they get returned back to your headquarters. In disgrace. I've actually got the money now. I've got quite a bit of money. So how many swords are waiting there for him? 6. Not enough? Right, while he's doing that, let's go to Kingdom of Israel. I can finish that coast road. Actually, it's not a coast road, it's just a road. And we can build caravanserai there, caravanserai here, caravanserai there, and set up a new route of Israel, of white goods Israel. And I just hope that no more like demands come in for this. These people are suffering. I mean, they've got the fish and they've got the wheat, but it's just not of anything else. It's alright. So start in Sechem. I don't think I'm gonna tire of saying that name. I'll be able to do it better with the next video. I'll have a drink beforehand so I can get the Sechem going. On the dray, take some linen, take some wool, go to Western Sechem. Drop 1 linen, drop 1 wool, go to Gaza. Actually, no. Go to Judah. Pick up 2 while maintaining your linen and wool. Then go to Gaza. Come back with 1. Go to Western Sechem. Go back to Sechem. That'll be fine as soon as I get a potto sorted. And they cost too much. So we'll go back to watching Gilgamesh. What's Darius doing? He's making us money by selling fish. Nothing wrong with that. Right, Gilgamesh is currently in northern Vechar. If I was ambitious, I would have a second ivory route going. That's never a good sign. Why is Cyrus getting impatient? Because that's been turned off apparently. Oh my god, how much money have how much potential revenue have I lost there? Oh, well, at least he'll be making some money for a long time. Him, well, he's making a huge loss because he's buying at a massive inflated price. Well, at least he's got cheap ivory for a long time. Oh, what a waste. Right, let's go back to... I do wish they wouldn't say wait so long to give you that warning. I want to look at Gilgamesh. Currently waiting to buy another sword. With what funds I don't know, because we're 2,000 in debt. Salted fish is demanded by the following structures: barracks, dwelling, oracle, palace, temple. Which means that fish is no longer demanded. So all these lovely people are going to go hungry for a while. They want salted fish, they don't want fish. Whew. And I have absolutely no money to adapt the routes. Eee. Okay. How does it look? I don't know because I can't produce. I can't see salt. Because I can't buy the advance, so I can't see where the salt is. But I need that 1,000 gold to buy a potter first. Okay. Let's go back to watching Gilgamesh. Because that's my happy place. The time being. Because, oh, my word. I may have overextended somewhat. I'm curious as to how I'm losing so much money there. Well, there we go. Some money's coming in. Presumably I'm waiting on some ivory, some bronze mirrors. Ooh, there's a bit of a backlog there. When that backlog clears, though, I'll be alright. So you've got to be patient. I'm making that money back. It's soon gone again. But Gilgamesh is going to save me. He may have cost me 4,200 in buying those swords. But also, let's go to the Kingdom of Israel. We'll build that potter. Seems a bit of a moot point now, but oh well. How much does it cost for a merchant? 1,600. That's very expensive. Let's go back to watching Gilgamesh, who will single-handedly make us that 1,600. Bronze swords sell for 839. That's disappointing. I thought they'd sell for more than that. 839, but he will sell them for 1,000. Nice. Which means we'll get Sennacherib in, and he can do did I save Israel white goods? I don't see it. Huh. So we just saved. That's just saved it as white goods. That's not going to get it confusing. Right, now I've got to start thinking about salted fish. When Gilgamesh gets to his next stop, I can buy... Oh, Carthage just finally repelled those barbarians. Where's his next stop? Oh, it's Carthage. That's miles away. It doesn't look like anybody's making any money in the interim. I mean, there's small amounts of money coming in, but it seems pretty paltry. I mean, they'll make about... In fact, they won't. They won't sell the ceramics. There's Gilgamesh, my hero. Single-handedly keeping this business afloat, I'm sure. Oh, nice. I forgot about the Cedar Boys. Oh, that's nice. We're in the black. Not for long, though. Right. Okay. Let's buy salting. That's a lot of salt. That's a lot of salt. So what I'm thinking is, bring some salt and just have a salter in every one of these cities. So that's Carthage sorted. We might have to bring some salt in. Bring some salt in from Carthage and do something similar on this route. Of course, Byblos doesn't have any salt at all, so that's not too bad. It's going to be quite expensive because I'm going to have to buy a lot of fish salters. But it's alright, I'll have one route that does Carthage fish, Israel Phoenicia fish, and then Sicily Spain fish. Good. But that, it's coming up to 2.5 hours now. I'm going to leave that as a fishy suspense for the next. In fact, let's look at something a bit more than just. Yeah, let's look at Byblos. There we go. As I close off, yeah, that's what we're going to do next time. We're going to update the economy to include salted fish. I'll get around to setting up the silver economy at some point. And I think ivory needs a bit of work. I need to get some profitable routes because, well, I'll say that. Oh, look at that. See, these guys have been keeping the place afloat. I mean, they're a bit useless, the rest of them. Gilgamesh is, he'll get there. But, yeah, not a fan. They're going to be profitable, but it's just taking a while. I don't know whether to get a second smelter set up there. But that's also for next time. And hope you joined me. I hope you've stayed with me for this period of time. And I will see you next time. See you later.